Hi, this is Margie Basso with Eastlink TV, and we're here for the opening week of the Eastlink Curling Center. We will be going inside and talking to Dale Dodge, the current president of the Curling Center, as well as Norm the ice maker. Stay tuned. Today we're here on location at the Eastlink Curling Center, the home of the Oliver Curling Club. So I have with me Norm, and Norm, first off, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day, and we're going to be talking a little bit about what your role is with the curling rink. So let's start off with your job description.
Yeah, I'm the ice maker here at the Oliver Curling Club. This is my 4th season. Actually, it's my 30th year making ice this year, so it's my own little personal anniversary. Nice. Yeah, and really enjoy it.
Well, now there's two things that I wanted to be able to talk to you about. One of them, first off, I know there's some real excitement out there about new rocks, so maybe you can elaborate on that.
Yes, well, we're the last club in the valley not to have inserts in our rocks, which when I say inserts, it's a type of granite that's installed in the bottom of a rock, and the whole idea is it's supposed to make it quicker and a little more forgiving in the way of curling. They're called Blue Hone Elsie Craig inserts, and we now have them. It's a big cost, and the club has done well for the last few years, and we've now stepped into the 90s.
Awesome. And so maybe just elaborate on that a little bit more. What is a full set, and where did they come from? And of course, is the longevity now, the expectation is they'll last how long?
Yeah, well, that's something that's kind of new to curling, and I say new, it's 20 years, but I had the privilege of being involved with one of the first clubs ever to get Blue Hone LC inserts, and that was about 20 years ago. And the thought then was that once they put inserts in the bottom of the rocks, they'll never really have to sharpen them again for about 20 years. And it's kind of been the case. Everybody was a little skeptical at that point, and as we're finding out, it truly is what it's all about. We get about 20 years, and you do have to do a few things for maintenance, but it's going to make the game a lot more fun here in Oliver.
That's fantastic, and it goes to show how little I know. I didn't even realize that you had to sharpen the rocks. I know you sharpen skates, did not know you sharpen rocks, so that's good to know.
It's not quite the same kind of sharpening. It's more developing a profile on the bottom of the rock, and as the rock loses its profile, it loses its ability to curl or maybe go fast. So we actually call it redeveloping a profile.
Interesting. All kinds of language that we're learning today for curlers. Now, with your previous set of rocks, is that something you just keep as a backup, or what happens to those?
Well, we still have the running surface on the other side of our rocks that we used last year, and that would be underneath the handles now. But hopefully we're never going to have to go back to that. You're not a curler, but if you were a curler, we would talk about seconds. We would say, oh, those rocks are 22.5 to 23-second rocks. Well, we're hoping our new rocks are 24 to 25-second rocks, which is more in the norm of today's curling.
So that's fantastic that we're up to par with everywhere in our region. I know that we're going to be talking with Dale Dodge later a little bit about some of the tournaments we host and things. So of course we want to make sure that we have proper equipment. Now there is also something new to the Curling Center, and that also is an upgrade to the gas heating system. So tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, well, you know, we have, and we're one of very few that have this. We have a geothermal heating system and cooling system here at the Curling Club. And with geothermal, it's very efficient, but sometimes not effective. And so our heating system was that in itself. It was very efficient. It heats the curling club up so the curlies don't get too cold when the weather was nice, as we mostly have here in the valley. But when it got extremely cold outside, our system didn't quite keep up. And so we've added a nice gas heater this year for the comfort of the curlers. And it's just going to allow me to take the edge off when I need to and warm it up that 2 or 3 extra degrees.
Which makes a big difference, because of course comfort is important when you're playing any sport. You want people to be comfortable in their surroundings and want to come back, obviously, right? So those are the two things. We have the rocks, we have the gas heating system, and anything else, Norm, that you think you should update on your end, of the things that you're responsible for with the curling club?
No, it's, I mentioned the 30 years, and I gotta say, I've gone through a lot of different clubs, but this club has great community involvement. It's really membership driven by the directorship. Dale Dodge, who you're gonna be talking to next, is hugely instrumental in this. So it's good. I really enjoy it.
And it's hard to believe that we're once again into a curling season. And so we look forward to talking to Dale in a little bit. And Norm, thank you so much for coming out today and giving us some more information on what you do, as well as with our new rocks and the new heating system. And this is Margie Basso with Eastlink TV. We're still here at the Oliver Curling Club, but I now have Dale Dodge, who is president for the 3rd year. So Dale, thank you so much for what you do in our community with the Curling Club. And we heard from Norm, he said that you do a great job just organizing everybody and inspiring everybody to continue on. And this is a brand new year. Wanted to be able to update the public with Oliver and Osoyoos just on some things that you have going on. So I thought first off, we'll talk about some of the major tournaments that are organized here in Oliver.
They're called Bonspiels in the curling, right? And we have a Bonspiel coming up in November. It's a mixed Bonspiel, and we'll probably end up with 24 teams. We have a ladies-only Bonspiel in January, and then we have a junior Bonspiel in February, and then we have a major combined men and women Bonspiel with 32 teams in February, middle of February.
So that is,
go ahead. On top of that, we have did I say juniors? We have junior Bonspiel. We also have a Special Olympics Bonspiel that'll happen probably in the first week of March with Special Olympics people from here and Penticton and Princeton. Always a good time.
And now all these Bonspiels are ones that you typically have on your slate every year for the Curling Club.
That's true.
That is a big slate. That's a lot to get organized and bringing lots of different teams and people into our community. So that's fantastic. Now, tell us, like I know that the juniors were in there at some point. I think you said February. Am I right? February for juniors. Yes. If there was anybody that wanted to get involved, I know with the juniors, for example, that we hear about it at the school and you can kind of come in and you can drop in. But all of these ones, and obviously you can kind of put a team together and then just be able to join up with the Bonspiel?
For the juniors, well, what we'd hope for the juniors is that they join the junior league. The juniors curl every Tuesday afternoon at 3 o'clock, 3:30, maybe 3:30 till 4:30 or 5. And the nice thing about that is they also get instruction. We have coaching down here for a fee of $60 a year. They get to curl all year, and with free coaching. And then the Bonspiels at the end of the year. We have ours in February. There's another one in Osoyoos and another one in Penticton as well. That's all included in the junior in their fee. We have some wonderful junior sponsors in town: Elks, Lions, Legion, Dr. Noftel, what's his name? Freedom Irrigation, Knowlton Irrigation, and now Remedies Pharmacy. All sponsor the juniors. So once they get into the program, all the equipment's included, all of the teaching's included, all the Bonspiel travel, everything is included. It's a heck of a good deal for juniors.
That is a very good deal. And when is registration for that? Has it occurred? And when is it too late? Can you always get involved at that point for the $60 for the year?
Registration actually was last night here. And I came down around 7 when it started. It was pandemonium. We had lineups, so there was quite a few kids came. I haven't yet heard the final numbers, but it's literally never too late. We will take kids who want to curl anytime during the year and fit them into our training schedule and coaching schedule without a problem.
And I know in the past you've also had the schools come down and just part of the regular PE curriculum where they come a couple of times. That's still going on, am I correct?
That's still happening with Oliver Elementary, Tuckalnuit, and Senpak Chen. So all the elementary schools. We want desperately, we want seriously to get the high school involved. Mm-hmm. We've offered at the high school level to coach a school team. If they can help us recruit some teams in boys or girls, we will provide the coaching and get them to a level that they can qualify in the zone championships for schools in the whole valley. So that's our goal. We haven't achieved that goal yet, but that's what we want to do.
But I think you're well on your way because my understanding is that the junior program, at least at the elementary level, has really started to build. And so those students who start to, just like any other sport, embrace it, get really good at it, through the high school level, they'll continue. I'm thinking that's probably the premise here too.
Well, it's definitely the hope.
Yeah.
That something happens when they get into grade 8. You know, a lot of the kids don't curl anymore. They get involved with band, which they might not have had in elementary school, or they get involved with other sports that they didn't have before. And curling takes a back seat. But we'd really like to put it on the front seat again and get some teams like we had back in the 80s. Remember the Sutton girls and the Hagel guys? They did well in BC. BC champions, world champions for the girls. So it would be nice to get some of those teams back that we could, you know, coach and bring along again to bring glory to SOSS.
Absolutely. And so you heard that from Dale Dodge. We put the call out there to get some of the high school students involved. Not looking for a coach. They will supply the expertise and the coaching involved to get them at various levels, and obviously assist them in getting involved in some bonspiels outside of Oliver as well, gives them an opportunity to travel. So let's talk about some of the other leagues besides the junior league that you have here.
Well, we have Ladies League every Tuesday. We have a day league which is mixed. Mostly seniors, but it doesn't have to be seniors, on Monday and Wednesday at 10 in the morning. We have a mixed league on Wednesday nights at 7, and we have a men's league on Thursday nights at 7. And then on Mondays, we also have a corporate league. Corporate league is not as competitive as the other leagues, but I tell you, they have a lot of fun on Monday nights. The corporate league is made up of teams that are mostly sponsored either by a corporate entity, like a business, or by an organization like Parks and Rec. And the idea is to bring companies and their people together. It's, number one, a good team building exercise for the company, but it also allows them to meet people in other companies, other corporations, other organizations that they might not ever run into. Now they can meet them in a friendly atmosphere. They can go up afterwards and have a beer at the lounge and meet these people, interact, network. It's very good Monday nights.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot of fun. And was that the registration last night as well?
No. Corporate, we don't have a separate registration for corporate. We had a registration for all the other leagues last week. So we've got probably about 75% of the people have now registered that we know of that want to curl. But if anybody wants to curl, it's still not too late. Regular league curling starts next week, but the real season doesn't start till the week after that. The first night is usually just to get everybody organized, get teams set up and so on. And then the week after that, they start to go.
So if you're brand new to possibly contemplating joining up on a league this year, let's talk about equipment. So can they have equipment provided, or is there somewhere where they need to go, or what would they need to in order to get started?
Okay, if they're brand new, I've never tried it before, we have an equipment storage locker here that is supplied by the juniors, and we allow people to use that for a couple of nights just to get a feel for the game. After that, we recommend they go down to Canadian Tire and buy the stuff down there. They can get shoes and a broom, which is all you need, shoes and a broom, for a reasonable price. There's also a number of people who don't curl anymore who have this equipment available for sale, so you can often get used stuff for a very reasonable price.
And that's great that you're able to also access local stores and local businesses as well. So it's fantastic that Canadian Tire is able to support curling and to be able to make sure people don't have to go outside of our community in order to get equipment. Now, you talked a little bit about people here being able to obviously give some pointers or act as mentors. If there's something that you're fairly new at, there's people here that would assist you along the way?
There's many people here that would be quite happy to assist you. Most curlers who have curled for 4 or 5 years are experts and would all be quite happy to pass on their wealth of knowledge. But there are some other people who are actually curled a long time who are very good coaches who can also be recruited to give you a hand if you need it. We have open curling this week on tonight, Wednesday, and Thursday and Friday from 7 to 9. And we have people down here, again, veterans who are quite willing to help you with the basics of how to slide, how to sweep, how to strategize the game, and so on.
Fantastic, because I think obviously it can be connected to any age level. You've talked about juniors, you've talked about you have during the day that can be appealing to seniors, but not necessarily just seniors during the day. You have women leagues, men leagues, mixed leagues. So really it is all encompassing and something that anybody could pick up.
It is. We often say to the kids at school, you don't have to be a basketball player or a volleyball player. If you don't fit into one of those so-called elite sports, then come and curl. We'll take everybody. Everybody can curl. Even if you're not the greatest athlete in the world, you can learn how to curl. We've had some kids out here in the junior program who literally could not stand up on the ice, and now they are drawing to the button at will. I mean, it's quite doable for everybody. The other thing is, we have a number of people who have stopped curling because their knees started to go as they got older, and they had trouble getting down into the hack, or if they got into the hack, they then couldn't get up again. We have here what's called stick curling, and I would say that in the day league, in the mornings, sometimes over half the people that are curling are using a stick to curl with. It is a great way to keep on curling right until you're in your 80s. And we have people here that are in their 80s who are still skipping and still playing a good game with that stick.
And that's fantastic. Of course, that's what we're all trying to do, regardless of our age and gender. We're trying to keep active and to make sure and live a healthy lifestyle. So, Dale, just some contact information now. If somebody wanted to find out more about what we talked about today, the days of each particular league, or how to get in contact or hold of somebody, what would be? Do you have a website?
The best thing to do is to go to the website. We do have a phone at the rink, but it's for the most part not manned. You'd have to leave a message, and then there's no guarantee anybody will get that in a timely fashion. But if you go to the website, all of the directors are there, all the email addresses are there, and phone numbers in many cases, and you can contact us by email and we'll get back to you immediately. So that would be the way to go. The website is olivercurlingclub.org.
Fantastic. And we will be following up and following through with some of the bond spills that will be happening for the 2014-2015 year. Dale, I want to thank you so much and for doing 3 years of president position so far, and we look forward to a great, fantastic curling season. This is Margie Basso with Eastlink TV.